Weirdoe, Harley, welcome to the podcast, boys.
Thanks for
Thank you, bro. So when I left school, I didn't have a fucking clue about anything to do with music production or how to make beats or anything like that. But I just went to college and I was just like, yeah, this is what I want to do.
It's all the interest from an early age, isn't it? From the early age, it sort of blossoms, doesn't it?
That's it, man. That's it.
Obviously, all lyricism comes from a freestyle of such. You know, you're making it up there and then on the spot. But I would say more so, I am a writer. I like to mess around with words and put, you know, words that sound very similar, close to each other, to make it sound like I'm more intelligent than what I actually am.
No, but do you know what?
Glasses, you see.
So you said about the scummy people. Why scum? Where did the name of scum come from?
Growing up around the part of Northampton that I've grew up, it's like you get labelled them things, you know, and then before you know it, my face is on camera and I'm showing people what I look like. And guarantee if you ask any one of them, though, you know what I mean? Most of them will regret it.
100%.
Eventually, somewhere along the line, they find something that's worth living for. But by that point, they're already too deep in it, you know? I've personally experienced it, you know, recently. You know, I know a lot of people that have lived fast. And you know what they say about the people that live fast? Fortunately, they die young, you know? And that's the sad ending. You know, there ain't no movie made about you unless you made your mark in this world.
And I'm going to say this now, and we can put this on record now, bro. We will put on the hardest hip-hop show the Northampton scene this year.
Oh, sick, man.
June 7th.
Do you know what, boys? I don't doubt you will, man.
bro,
That's going to be sick.
June 7th, Black Prince, man.
And I'm rolling through the neighborhood back when I was close to you, close to you, close to you.
I don't know. I reckon that could be the intro. That could be the intro. Weirdoe, Harley, welcome to the podcast, boys.
Thank you, bro.
Thanks for coming down.
Got some fans outside,
Live audience,
fans, man.
That is exclusive.
That's it, man. We're famous.
That's it. It started. Cool. We'll have to have them queuing up now.
So we've got the Weirdoe, Harley, Weirdoe artist, Harley producer.
Yeah, man.
The boys.
So,
Boys.
guys, what are you got in the pipeline currently? What's happening?
We'll take this one.
You do what I do. You pass the buck. I love that.
We've got some nice bits on the way, man. Obviously, like you say, we've had plans before Christmas and stuff like that. Obviously, the idea is to obviously keep the ball moving, keep it rolling, and last year was a good.
It's a good year.
It was a good year, man.
Good year,
It was a good time to learn, and obviously anything we've picked up along the way from last year, we've just tried to execute what did work, what didn't work, you know, and now we're set.
What did you pick up? What did you pick up on? What went wrong?
Well,
I'm curious.
it's more about what went right, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah.
That's it, man.
Yeah, but the important thing is you've learned from what went
Bro,
wrong.
the thing is, like, the music industry is cutthroat, man. Like, it's cutthroat, and you end up like you can have like a solid plan in your head, and you can try and execute it the best way you can, and then it just goes tits up, man. And the thing is, it's like when I say tits up. So, say for instance, you've got like a song that you're working on for a long period of time. You're doing all the work. There's a lot more to it than people like initially think. Like what goes on behind the initial making the song and then getting it out there. And anywhere along that process, if something doesn't go to plan between like the song being written, the song coming out, you're man, you can have a major setback. And we had a few setbacks and stuff like that. But mainly we wanted to achieve 2 projects out last year, and we did it. So that's the main thing, man. So just keep it moving from there.
Result, mate.
So.
Overall, it's been a result.
Yeah, result's the word.
It's been growth. You know what I mean? And like you say, like there's plenty of things that we've learnt along the way, and you know, now we can execute the things that did work. It's just a case of learning and being able to push the things that did work. Really, you know.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've got like these, you know, these 2 projects got reeled out last year. It came with like a formation. It had like everything was looking flush, you know, all the visuals and you know, the music all matched together, which is something where, you know, for a little while we was pissing in the dark. I'll be honest with you, mate. You make music and you go, yeah, I love that. and it's easy to go, yeah, let's just release it. You know, let's let everyone
excited
listen
at
to
the
it.
time.
Excited,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, of course.
But then eventually you start to realise that unless there's an actual plan before and after you do so, people listen for a day, 2 days, you know, if you're lucky. But
That'll only be people who know you. That won't even be the people that are like, who don't know who you are.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Where did you start? Because am I correct in thinking like you had when you first started like a video that hit like 4 million?
So me years ago, yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
A lot of people remember that.
So what's changed for you like since you've made that video to like for like the growth where you are now?
I think obviously a lot's happened to me personally, you know what I mean? And eventually I kind of got to a point where I see other people's mistakes, and eventually I just realised, look, there's got to be a plan of action here. You've got to be able to bring the sheep back to you, you know? You can't just run around and, you know, put yourself everywhere for the audience to go where, you know? And that's where, like, my idea eventually was, I need a team, you know? I need some people I can rely on. I need somewhere I can build, and where better to do it on my own front doorstep. Yeah. Obviously, next thing you know,
Harlz.
the man sat next to me. There you go.
That's what I was going to say as well. Like, how have we got you two here now? Like, how have you two sort of? Where did that come from?
Doesn't feel like there's something.
It's a good one. This.
I can put it simply.
I don't want to say how did you meet, because that sounds proper like. You know what I mean?
He mentioned to me obviously eventually that he knew of me, and stuff like that, and he tried reaching out to me before a long time ago. And you know,
ghosted me, man.
He ghosted you.
No. We've all been ghosted.
Nothing like that. But he tried reaching out to me, and obviously that relationship never, you know what I mean, never went anywhere at the time. But eventually I started seeing some bird, and then she just said I went to school with some dude that makes beats. So I'm like, okay, let me check him out. Checked him out, and
fuck, I ghosted him years ago.
I left that guy on red.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Harley, just for you as well.
Yeah, man.
Like, where did music? How did that materialise for you in the beginning? Because I want to know this as well. Like, obviously, we've known each other a long time.
We have, man. Yeah, we have.
Fucking years now. But like, I suppose I don't really know. I always know you as the guy who makes music as well. Not just the guy who makes music, but like, how did that start?
Bro, really, like, it's always what I've wanted to do, man.
Yeah.
Like, ever since I can remember, like, I think the only other thing I wanted to do before that, I wanted to be an actor. Like, I remember when I was I wanted to be an actor, but I was always brought up around a lot of music, a lot of different music as well. I wasn't even necessarily brought up on hip hop or anything like that. I was brought up on, like, you know,
your dad's music.
My dad's music. Yeah, my dad and my mum. Like, my dad's into the, you know, like Led Zeppelin, like Rush, Pink Floyd, bands like that, and then my mum's into like Marvin Gaye and stuff like that. So I was getting a good contrast, man. Like, I was just showing a lot of different stuff, and then obviously I developed my own sort of taste throughout the years. But then I think it was Dre's album, man, 2001. Really, that was the album that I listened to, and I was like, because I knew like who Eminem was and stuff like that, and I thought, that you know, that's sick. But it's like, how is he making these albums and stuff like that? And I heard that album, and I was like, yeah, this is the one. This is what needs to happen.
You've thought into it that little bit more, rather than this is good. Why is it good?
Yeah, why is it good?
Yeah,
what makes it work, man? Like, what sort of brings that stuff together? Like, how does it? So when I left school, I didn't have a fucking clue about anything to do with music production or how to make beats or anything like that.
Really, yeah.
But I just went to college, and I was just like, yeah, this is what I want to do. I'd use, like, you know, like, you used to get, like, I don't know if you ever saw it, like, back in the day, like EJ. Was it called EJ?
Yeah.
Like, you drag the loops in on fucking on the computer, man. You just make little beats. So I had, like,
Alex
PlayStation.
will know that. Alex, you'll probably know something similar.
Do you remember that, man?
Virtual DJ and all that.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Classic, man. That was always a classic at the parties, wasn't it? You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Virtual DJ on.
Trust me,
Put
man.
the scratch effect on, everyone go wild, man.
I had the PlayStation game as well. I was making beats on my PlayStation and stuff like that. Yeah, man. So
Wait, on the PlayStation?
yeah, bro. Yeah. There was like a fucking DJ game where you can make little drum patterns and shit like that, man. It was the one, bro. It was the one.
That's how it started, yeah.
Yeah,
it's all the interest from an early age, isn't it? From the early age, it sort of it blossoms, doesn't it?
That's it, man. That's it. But then I remember going to college and thinking, this is a lot deeper than I thought it was actually ever going to be.
Right.
Like, the actual of how a song's created from, like, scratch. to the finished product. It's a lot more.
Yeah, it's so satisfying when you're getting to
It
the
man.
final
It is.
product. Yeah.
But at first, I'm sitting there thinking, how am I going to make my song sound like this? Because like you make something, and you just can't get the idea out like the way that you want it to sound.
Do you remember the first song you produced? The first beat, like the
first beat I ever
first beat first, yeah, first beat.
It's mad actually because the first beat I ever produced, it was called Walking on Ice. Yeah,
Walking on Ice. It's a cool name. How old was it? Yeah.
I was 16, so I literally just got my first little setup. I'd like, you know what I mean, like I'd say I didn't really properly start until I left school, so I was at college, and I had my little setup and I made this beat. And it was dead, man.
Have you still got it?
But it developed.
It was pretty much like a Little Wayne lollipop rip-off.
I like that shit.
Have you still got it?
Nah, man, I haven't still got it. I wish I could.
Joe was about to spit some bars over
Yeah,
deep in that.
I wanted to hear it.
Yeah, it's dead.
Deep in that.
So deep, it's like it's gone, mate. So, yeah, bro. But that's what sort of like, as I say, it's just I just wanted to learn how songs were created and how
logistics of everything.
Yeah, man,
rather than just appreciate it, you want to know why.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it. And I always just, you know, I was that guy who'd get like an album and I'd like look at like who wrote the song, where it's recorded, mixed, and all that sort of stuff. Like nerdy stuff, man. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah. Well, who inspired you from an early age? Who would you say inspired you?
Me.
Yeah.
My brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Straight up. Like when I was younger, like you say, I liked writing poetry from like 7 onwards. And then eventually, obviously, same story. Eminem come about, the fucking phenomenon.
Yeah, I was going to ask when did you start like singing, getting
actually,
into singing? Yeah, like,
so
actually
it went to like a rapping thing, but at the time, like, you know, instrumentals were hard to come by. It's not like YouTube exists.
Yeah, of course.
So like you're looking around for stuff and you can't really find what it is you need. Eventually, like the whole Raziel thing came about. I don't know if you remember the beatboxing phase. Raziel, Shy, was it? What was his name? One from London. You know, one that beatboxed. I can't even think of his name. But there's a few of them anyway. A few beatboxers and a couple of people from around the area would sit there and beatbox. I would rap. And then eventually...
It was like that, that was like a part of like a scene almost. That was like...
It was a thing, yeah. I just remember growing up and hearing about like Raziel, and I think his name's Shy SFX.
Yeah.
Shy SFX?
Yeah, I think so,
SFX? Yeah, the beatboxer. And then like all like flute box and all of them lot as well, like...
Yeah.
You know, and beatboxing was just a thing, you know? People just come about it, become a thing, and then that filled the gap. Some people around the area would like to beatbox. I like to do a little rap. You know what I mean? You make that whole thing happen.
Yeah.
And then eventually, the golden age of grime came out. I literally just got to see it develop from like garage to grime. And then, you know what I'm saying? We're all sat there listening to like Sidewinder sets and, you know what I mean? Wiley, Kano,
all
like
of them
old
boys,
school,
yeah,
old
of
school
course,
heads.
man.
And, you know, Boy in the Corner, Dizzy Rascal, all of that. And eventually, that's where I just kind of come across this grime era. And it became a competition between me and my brother. He'd go write something, spit it, everyone get gassed. Yeah. And I'd go back to my bedroom and be like, shit, that was good, man. I need to outdo this somehow, you know. And then eventually, that's went on for years, you know. And he taught me a lot, man. He taught me sometimes it's not about what you say, it's about how you say it, or
the energy,
confidence, man. It's not even, like, energy is one thing, but sometimes it can just be, you know, it could be someone stood in the room being loud. That can be
just having that conviction in what you're saying.
Exactly that, man.
Yeah,
to be original, to be yourself, and to be confident.
Saying something's worthwhile as well, man. Like not just chatting shit.
Exactly that. Exactly that, man. There you go. Like with things with music and you know what I mean, and lyricism especially, like you gotta have some shit to say, you know. You gotta live through some stuff, like just to be able to have something to say. So,
how did you start? Did you start like freestyling or?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah,
so
that's true. Yeah.
Poetry is a cappella anyway, isn't it? So it's a cappella, no music, and then eventually you kind of find some form of rhythm with the whole beatboxing thing. Eventually, I'm all the way up in 140 beats per minute. So I'm being taught about like.
Hang on, that's fast, isn't it?
That's fast, Joe.
That's right.
That ain't poetry no more. That's not
That's what I'm
poetry.
saying. Ain't no rap thing. You're going from 80 to 140. So like.
You're a twister now, isn't it?
But
Yeah,
like
it's so impressive. Freestyling is so impressive. I'm watching this guy, Harry Mack.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That kind of freestyling's that's different.
He's just watching around and he just
I'm getting inspired by what he sees at the time.
Yeah.
Just
watching the way you dress and everything, and he just freestyling about it.
If you're gonna, to be fair, obviously all lyricism comes from a freestyle of such. You know, you're making it up there and then on the spot. But I would say more so, I am a writer. Like, I like to write. I like to plan. I like to go over the lyrics.
you want it to mean something that relates to you.
Just try out different methods of cadence, and you know, like you can say a sentence in multiple different ways, and depending on how you say it is depending on how that message is portrayed. You know, I like to mess around with words and put, you know, words that sound very similar, close to each other, to make it sound like I'm more intelligent than what I actually am.
No, but do you know what?
Glasses, you see. You know what I'm saying? You don't
It's the mix.
That's it.
I think that's sort of we've described your music as. It's unique, man. It is. It's rap, but it's not rap. You know, you've got your own twist on it. And it's your own. Like, it's not. There's not anything we can sort of say that similar. It's just your own genre. But that's what works, man. And obviously from you saying, listening to how you got there as well, I can understand why it's different as well. Do you know what I mean?
It, man.
It's the
Everyone
influence
goes
of
through different
everything.
experiences, and you know.
And your approach on it as well. Your approach is, like you said, it's different, man.
Yeah,
it's good.
Definitely. Originality is what I strive for. So
That's actually probably the best compliment you could give to us, bro.
honestly,
really. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hope that doesn't seem like I'm just saying that. But it's only because we've listened to it, and you know, barbers, man, we listen to a lot of music.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean? A lot of music
And a lot of rap.
and a lot of rap, a lot of
yeah.
rap, and you know, I'd like to think we're connoisseurs now, aren't we? A little bit. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Weirdoe, how do we get to that name, man? How do we get to that name? It fits. I mean, it does. It sounds sick.
Well, it's a school.
Not saying you're a weirdo. I mean, lyrically, it's different. It's unique.
Well, it's a childhood school name. Aaron Weirdoe. You know, as a kid and that, you know, you get called some names and people just span off the surname, didn't they? So it's.
I find your music videos it's the same as well. It's unique, like that Cecil Hotel one.
Yeah.
It's fucking scares me, man. It's weird, but I like it. You know, it's one of I'm intrigued by it.
When he switches, that's the joke.
Yeah,
Like, it's like when you go from like this to then all of a sudden he's doing his whole sort of like
weirdo.
intense.
Yeah, he's doing-
do you know what I mean?
right.
It's mad.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, that's it. You got to zone into that place.
Yeah, of course.
Who comes up with your video ideas?
Well, like you say, we've had experiences with videographers along the way, and you know, we try to take on what we've got, visualize for it, and we like to allow people kind of, you know, creative direction as such. But yeah, I like to keep it quirky, man. Me personally, I'm one of them people. I like to keep it quirky. You know what I mean? I like to go for an idea where almost. Kind of Kanye West approach, you know?
Yeah,
like,
okay.
to a point where you could say something and on paper you look at it and you go, really? But you pull it off and you're like, damn, look, that's so stupid. That is fantastic.
It's almost like, you know, like when you see like a drill video. If you got presenting with like a drill track, you're thinking, right, bunch of man fucking stand there, ballied up and that, do you know what I mean? Like, but if we were to approach that, even if we had that kind of track, it'd be like, okay, what could we do to make it different? Because why make it stand out? Because otherwise it just looks like every other video that's out there, man. Which is obviously, you know what I mean? No disrespect to people that want to do that. That's cool. But even like, if you look at even like someone at the top, like Central C, for instance, when he did the the Wild West rollout, he's riding through fucking South London on a horse, man. Do you know what I mean?
It's
like
he's
making a statement.
It's
Do you know what I mean?
Think about horses, isn't there?
Yeah, that's it.
That's
it, man. That's it.
You got countryside, you got city life. The combination of the two is different.
Trust me.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, man. Like, it's just thinking outside the box and how you're going to stand out. And it's like, you know, it's a business at the end of the day, bro. It's like, it's a brand.
Yeah,
you know what I
of
mean? So
course.
it's representing your brand name and how you want to be portrayed. to
Yeah,
your
it
audience.
made me think of the track of this guy, Big Shaq, Man's Not Hot.
Yeah, but
Man's
that's
Not Hot.
So stupid
It's so-
and
yeah.
so
So
catchy,
stupid.
like
Yeah, I love
crazy.
do from that, man.
Love
That's
that.
what I mean.
Love that tune.
I mean,
Love that, yeah. It's a bit you, Joe, man.
I know every lyric. I know every lyric of that tune as well.
That's it.
But it's true. Didn't he perform at the bit irrelevant? But didn't he even perform at like one of the football
Bro,
something?
it wouldn't surprise me, man.
And he's just like, you don't belong here, but you I'm so glad you came.
It's true though, bro. It's all just, it's clever marketing, clever branding.
You never know
Yeah,
when
I
you're
mean-
gonna just
Yeah.
click with people and
In a world of saturation, you know, like, come on, like, look, everyone wants to be part of it nowadays, you know, like back years ago, you didn't really get people with that mindset of like, oh, this is what I want to do, and
It's confidence, yeah.
it's very saturated now. You know, a lot of people, if they don't want to rap, they want to be producers and they want to be videographers and photography, and it's only the ones that actually have the drive and the passion for it that actually end up taking it for the long haul. But now, with all that saturation, you've got to stand out, man. That's why you get
100%.
videos of me sat in a bath with a load of rubber ducks, because it works. Like, it works.
No, fair play. Harley,
Yes, bro.
and both of you, what comes first, the lyrics or the beat?
It's the beat normally.
It's the beat.
Yeah.
Right, okay. How do you come up with the lyrics? Do you almost? Cause I see. I don't know. I've seen things of other artists where they're almost humming over the beat to sort of get the flow. Like, what's the logistics of making the tune, man? And is there like not a generic way, but is there like a foundation way or what? Like, because we're new to it as well.
Yeah. So he sends me.
No, sorry. He's just taking on the role of your brother today. He's just, I just turn around and he's just sat there going, he's just looking at me, he's like, yeah.
Is that a one?
So every time we do this podcast, I'm sat there, George's brother Joe sat there, and Matt, every time I look at Joe, he just does his thing, we always laugh. And then he's always in the middle of like a monologue.
Kind of used to this point of the night now, yeah.
he was funny, you know, right? Look at him, make it like,
No, it's a good question though, because I've looked at like music.
How does it come about?
I've looked at music and watching people. You know when you watch people like online and they're making music and they're like, you go on TikTok or Instagram, everything now, everyone's always remixing songs.
Yeah.
That's how like trending music stuff. It's always like remix song. But you watch people and they're making them. I'm like looking at them, I'm like, where do you even like
Get the influence.
like how in your head, like if you're going up to Harley and saying like, I've got this track, I want it to be this vibe, like these are the sort of lyrics that I'm going to plan to do.
Yeah.
In your head, when do you then go, right, I know what I'm going to do now?
How do you get in the zone as well to do that?
Like without like, because my problem is, I think it's the creativity side of it, is like, if someone said to you to create a song, automatically I'd probably go in my head, my favourite song would pop into my head.
Yeah.
You
And then
made that making a Taylor Swift tune as well.
And then to try and not copy it.
Yeah.
It's hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've always tried to take the approach. So like when me and Weir first met, like our first couple of studio sessions or whatever, he came and he said, I want to have Tory Lanez type beats, for instance.
Okay, yeah.
Because that was especially around an era where there was a lot of like beats for sale and stuff like that. People would go on like lease beats and stuff like that. And so that's the way a lot of artists were finding beats. They'll go on YouTube and type in like, you know, Tory Lanez type beat or whoever was relevant at that time. It was 2018. Tory Lanez was popping.
Yeah,
2018.
yeah,
man, you know what I mean?
Before he shot someone.
Before he shot.
Sorry, that's irrelevant. Sorry, man.
But the thing is, like, so he said to me, yeah, I want to make some Tory Lanez type beats, but the pack of beats I sent him, there was not one Tory Lanez type beat. There was probably one that was like closer to that sort of.
You sent me three, didn't you?
Yeah.
You sent me three, and he said to me, you surprised me because the one beat that I sent you, I was guaranteed that you was going to have that one, and then you picked the one that I least expected.
Really?
Yeah.
So I'll be honest with you, the answer to your question overall is really like, it depends on, you know, there's a thing that happens in music, and sometimes you can clash with people.
Like who has the like if you make a sick beat,
Yeah.
and you send it to him and go, this is the fucking beat, and he turns around and goes, nah.
Yeah, it's
Who
happened,
makes the final decision?
Sometimes it's always the case if he can't write the song, if he doesn't feel inspiration to write the song, obviously we've reached a stalemate. You know what I mean? Because this is the point of like, okay, we can't progress from here. But sometimes it'd be the point where he's like, okay, I can't think of anything for this beat, but someone else would probably be better on it.
You save it.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Do you know the truth? This is genuinely the truth of it. Yeah. The most common occurrence between us two is that he'll sometimes like we'll link up and he'll be going through his laptop and he'll be scrolling through the beats that he wants to show me, forgets the name of it, so ends up scrolling about 4 or 5 of them. And by the time that he's found the one that he wanted to show me, I've already found the one that I know that I want to write the track to. Yeah.
You've already
seen
seen
it. I go, whoa, go back.
yeah. But that's that everything happens for a reason type of thing. It's like, that's the one.
Like Fatwell.
Yeah, Fatwell, cool.
Like Fatwell, that was one. What was the other one recently?
P4, man.
P4.
Yeah.
It was just one that he made. He completely even forgotten he'd made it. And the second I heard the sample, I was like, go back. And he was like, what, this one? And I'm like, yeah, that's it. That's going to be the grime banger this year. He's like, all right, yeah, I can do that. Sends me it back. Grime bangers get laid.
Did you ever like have you ever written like have something in mind, like an idea to write something like
so
about
write
a song?
First,
before the having the beat.
I think I might have, I think that was a long time ago. We made a song called Daydream that, didn't have the push it wanted on it. So that was some of the music that got let go in the end. But I started writing these lyrics, but you don't really know what tempo it's going to go on. So, when it comes down to breaking syllables into whatever the tempo is, it becomes difficult, I'll be honest.
To match up with the beat.
Yeah, so...
It was VSN as well, weren't it? You had VSN to another beat, didn't
completely different beat, that's it. So he knew what tempo to go off, but he didn't know how the song was going to sound by the end of it. But it worked. It did work.
It's experimenting, man. That's all it is, just experimenting.
Yeah, a lot of people just writing before having a beat. I know that as well. That's why.
You can. But then you're going to...
If you have an idea about something,
Yeah, but then at the same time, like, you're controlling the creativity too much to a point where you only get comfortable in your own box. Yeah. Like, you start labeling yourself like, I'm a grime artist, so I'm just going to write a load of grime bars to some other... Do you know what I mean? Some other producer's beat, and then all of a sudden, you've boxed yourself off. Now everyone knows you as the grime artist, or the drill artist, or the whatever artist.
Or it might happen that you're gonna have even the beat in your head, how you actually want it to sound, and then you're gonna start writing on your idea, and then you're gonna go to him and I want it to sound like this,
Like you've sent me beats loads of times, didn't you? Where you've gone, I wasn't expecting you to go with a flow like that.
Yeah.
Like I was expecting you to be faster, or a bit more skippy with it, but I've gone on a block of broken down flow. So
do you and what do you do? Does it work at the time, or do you adjust, or do you try and mix the combination of the two perspectives?
We trust each other, man. Like, I think that's the main thing with like the way that we work. It's just a trust thing. It's just like I trust the fact that whatever he's not going to come with anything half-assed.
No.
And the same way he knows, like, because when he records to the beats, 9 times out of 10 they're like. They're rough, like they're draft sort of like not rough, but no, but dead beats. But I sort of like I'll take his words and I'll build the production around.
Really?
The way, like so if there's certain bits that are like more impactful, like okay, we'll have a stop start here, or we'll have like a transition in the beat here that's going to match his flow. Like so, like for instance, like Mongrel off the Scum EP, that was made to like a pretty rough basic of a beat, and then like after it, we added all the sound effects and all that sort of shit because like, once I heard his bars. I knew the sort of direction we were going in.
Yeah, right, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
So you said about the Scum EP. Why Scum? Where did the name of Scum come from? Like, what does that album represent with it being called Scum? Because of course, you got people, it's Scum, but I feel like there's more than just what the ordinary people would think Scum represents. What is it?
Like you say, growing up, it was more just a case of, growing up around the part of Northampton that I've grew up, it's like you get labelled them things, and then before you know it, my face is on camera and I'm showing people what I look like, and that's vaguely what I was labelled, So I wanted to give people what they want. Give people what they want. Like if that's what you're going to label me, that's it. So let's just give you what you want. So
yeah, man.
You know, we put.
But you're going to be listening either way.
That's it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And then we went
it.
with that kind of gritty sound all throughout it.
Yeah,
if you realise, like, you got different genres on there. You know, you got drill, you got grime, it's hitting from every angle of grit you can get.
I'm going to actually take this opportunity to explain this, because I ain't got to explain this yet.
Buzzing for it.
So, yeah, I am, man. So when we made Scum, the idea is if you listen to the Scum EP, it tells a sort of like a play out of a scenario for the whole thing.
Nice, yeah.
So like you've got the intro track, and it starts off, and you're hearing in the background, like it's like it's busy, sounding busy. You've got sirens in the background. It's supposed to represent, Weir from where he was growing up. Do you know what I mean? By the end of the song, he's checking into Hotel Cecil, right? And he loses his mind in the hotel. And then in P4, he's back on the street. He's back doing his thing from years ago. Doing what you were doing, bro.
So sorry.
Yeah, cool, man.
But the album's almost like a timeline.
Yeah, man. It's almost like a timeline, and in the end, it sort of goes a full circle. By the time you get to Bad Choices, at the end of that song, you hear him escaping on a motorbike, being chased by the police. And it goes, and then if you listen to it, it goes full back to the start of it again, and it will just keep on looping around, because it's just like
it's a vicious cycle.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a vicious cycle.
Cycle. I like it. So there's so much more sometimes than just what you're seeing as well, isn't it? It's the storyline, and this is where you guys sort of come into it, and it's the attention to detail as well, isn't it?
Even if we're the only people that know that, man. Obviously, you guys now know that.
Yeah, I know. I'm buzzing. I know that.
Even if we were the only ones who knew that, we can listen to that and go, right, okay, we set out to accomplish. We wanted to make something that was different. If we're gonna, because Born in a Barn, the first EP we dropped last year, it was a longer project, a bit more varied. Do you know what I mean? Like with the songs on it. Whereas because we knew we wanted to go rawer with Scum, we wanted to give it a bit of direction. And you know what I mean?
Heavy the whole way.
Yeah, it's heavy. It's a heavy project. It's very bass heavy, very sort of like. The way I put it is, there's not a lot of Aaron on there. There's a lot of Weirdoe. Yeah, him doing the whole sort of like Weirdoe.
The lyrics are PG.
Yeah,
as well. It's almost like you're mixing, almost like short films sometimes with some of these videos. They're almost short films, man.
Yeah, that's
and you're mixing that element where you can listen to the tune, but you can watch a music video, and either way, you can watch the video without sound, and you can listen to the sound without visuals, and either way, you're gonna understand the gist of it.
Image kind of thing.
Yeah. It's clever.
That's the bit I get most excited about, bro. When I see visuals to our music or whatever, that's when I get gassed.
Is it?
Like, yeah, especially, man. Like, especially if we haven't had a large part in the creative direction of the video, like. To be able to go back and go, okay, so you saw that the same way that we did.
Yeah, right, okay.
Do you know what I mean? Because sometimes it's hard. It's like, and obviously when you don't come from like a video background or whatever, it's the same as someone going, that's easy, you just make that song. Do you know what I mean? You just whack up a song, it's just all right. You know
I get it, because it's like when we had someone come in to do our videography for like the opening day. They come in, we didn't ever really get to see the video, but like, there's a bit of a story to that, and you fucking know.
Thank God for Dot Media.
Yeah, and then thank God these guys come in. But like, mate, like Dot Media, they come in. We rang them. They come in, and like automatically, mate, they just come in, picked up the camera, and you could just tell. Yeah. From the moment they picked up the camera that they were getting it.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And like when they sent us the first videos for all the reels, I think they sent us like one reel, then like the 4 individual ones for all of us. Yeah, and you could just tell that automatically, like from one visit to the shop,
I can see the vision.
They'd got the vibe and the vision of the shop.
And then you think so important. It's the same thing.
You haven't really even had to say anything to them.
Nah, that's it, man.
Funny how we use the same guys as well, isn't it?
Yeah, the same guys. Shout out Dot Media, innit? Come on. Jay's over there gassed right now.
Shout out Red, man. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, it makes the job very easy for us, because obviously, like, I get to have conversations now with Ren and just sort of like spawn off ideas of stuff that songs we haven't even written yet, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, because my brain's constantly ticking over, like, what's the next idea? How are we going to execute the next thing? So it's like, man.
That's George. George is.
I'm looking at Harley, I'm going,
George,
we're the same, man.
George is basically 5 years into this shop already.
Oh, right. Mate, I feel like that is the
just with 0 time.
In order to succeed in any sort of industry, I think that's the way you've got to be, man. I think you've got to be thinking so far ahead of the game that you've got to know where you're planning to head. Like for us, like we know like what we're planning to achieve, and it's just getting to that point. Do you know what I mean? Like we're working on Project 3 now. So
5 years time, 5 and 10 years time. Yeah. What's the vision? What's happening?
I think for me, man, I kind of like the idea of having that, you know, that close knit kind of almost cult following. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not
nice.
like me personally, like you say, my music's either you love it or you hate it. It's like Marmite, but I'd like to have that, you know, that sense of knowing that if I'm moving around, people are coming with us.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, that's what I'm aiming for, man. Obviously, of course, I want what everyone else wants. I want success, really. That's what I want. But what about you?
Well, me.
Yeah.
Well,
We talk about it, but
yeah,
I'm
we
not
talk-
really...
He's curious now.
bro, I would like, you know what I mean? It's the same thing. I think the goal is really is like if you could rock up to a city or a town or whatever that you could like put on play a venue and you sell that out. Man. Do you know what I mean, if you can do that, like if you can say rock up to London or whatever and like put on a show and you sell it out, like you know, is it even still open now? Is Brixton Academy open again now? Is that open again?
I don't know.
If it was like, it's like, what is that, a 3K cap?
But something
Do you
like
know what I
that,
mean?
you
So,
go
like,
in there and
yeah,
it's...
just be able to go in there, sell it out, and just, you know what I mean, just yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Harley, are you? Would you say you're specific to certain genres, or are you even for other artists as well, even like young lads and that? Like,
Right.
are you tied down? Like,
No, man. Like the thing is, like, I've done like when I was, because I started off as an engineer, like mainly like sound engineer.
That's
and
how I
stuff
remember
like
you.
that. That's how you want to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I remember you when I was music
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
You used to be like, I can't. That was. I never used to be able to remember what it was, but yeah, you did. Yeah.
Yeah, sound engineering, man. So I mainly just sort of, yeah, actually, that's a good point, bro. Actually, like, because I set up like my first studio. Like,
Yeah.
shortly after I first met you. So
where was that?
at my house, man.
Yeah, really?
No, that's
Sick.
how I remember it. It's like he
Yeah.
used to do another job, now obviously sound engineer.
Yeah.
And then he used to come in and he was just like randomly this one time, it was a sat on my chair and he was like, I was like, oh, what's going on? What's new? And he went, yeah, I'm just making beats now, man. I was
Yeah.
like, where are you making beats? He's like, yeah, my bedroom. Like,
Yeah. That's what
So-
I mean, man.
I remember one of your, like, I don't know if it's early, now it's an early project, but like Past Life.
Past
we
Life,
speak about this
man.
before.
Yeah.
I remember like, as a kid, like, I listened to that tune, I loved that tune, man.
Yeah,
I did,
man.
like, I'm like, that's Northampton, I love this tune, like the people in it and that as well. I remember turning up at Chaps, I'm like, hang on, like, you're them two geezers from that tune. Like,
Yeah,
you're the guy
man.
that plays
Yeah,
the
yeah.
guitar, like, you're the one there, like,
Do you know what?
it's mad.
It's a mad thing about that song is because like, I really see that song as the first song that I made, that I produced, that I was actually proud of.
Really?
And I think
Sick.
when it came out, and it was the first song again that I ever got any kind of reception. Like everything else I was putting out at the time, like with other artists, it just wasn't really going
Really,
anywhere.
yeah,
Do you know
yeah.
what I mean? Probably like their mum listened to it. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
one of them
yeah,
ones. But then like with Past Life, it started getting a lot of love from the town really, and like even outside of the town, like we had like label interest and stuff like that, and it was mad. It just went a bit mental, bro. Like it was a bit of a crazy experience. Right?
the one I know, the one I was like when I messaged you, what, like a year, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
And it was the Ray Gemini tune.
Yeah, man.
And I was like, I was
well,
listening to it,
yeah.
it come up on Spotify,
Yeah.
and I looked at it and I was like, I'm a producer, and then it said,
yeah, you're a gas,
Harlz.
aren't
I was like,
Yeah.
Harley.
Yeah,
Harley's done this
yeah,
tune.
yeah.
And I was like, I ended up messaging you, and I
Yeah,
was
you
like, I'm
did,
playing
bro,
this in the
yeah.
shop, and you were like, oh yeah, it's sound, and I was fucking, I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
I
it's
remember you
jokes.
being gassed about that.
That's the thing that gets me
tune.
gassed up though, man. Is because like when people like who I've met or I know and that will like say they've heard the song and they like it, like that's a big thing, man. Because getting support from like just the general like public it's hard work, man. Like
It
when
is,
you put a lot of time and effort into trying to sort of win a crowd over. Do you know what I mean? To
Yeah.
have a following and stuff like that.
I think sometimes there's a difference between people being polite and supporting you because you're a friend, and then there's people really like appreciating your work, man.
Yeah,
and
man.
it's obviously for you boys, you got a lot of them moments that people are just appreciating what you're doing,
That's it,
and it's
man.
organic, man, and it's good.
That's it, man. And that was like, yeah, I guess, going back to Past Life, I guess that was probably the first time I ever really experienced that. Do you know what I mean? Like people actually appreciating what was being done and people enjoying the music and not just listening
Yeah.
to it for the sake of like, because they know me or they knew Jordan or whatever. Do you know what I mean? It was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
people actually enjoying listening to it. But
Even Steve Thompson in that video as
bro,
well,
do
when
you know what I mean?
dancing,
This
man.
is
Now
the
you look at
thing,
him,
man.
yeah.
Like, look at Stephen, man. Like, and I'm proud of that guy, bro.
Yeah,
Because I've known
yeah,
Stephen
yeah.
for a long time, man. Like even like, mate, going back to what we said about how long we've known each
Yeah,
other, bro.
yeah,
'Cause
of course.
when I first met you at Chaps, you were sweeping up hair, bro.
Yeah. I think I was probably washing your hair as well. Like, yeah, of course.
So now we are.
Yeah, exactly, man.
You never used to sweep it up well, bro.
I don't think that. You complimented me as a junior already.
He always looked like he was sweeping up hair.
I was always looking busy.
Yeah, looking.
There's the social side of things as well. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, man, it's it's nice. You know, all from the same town, all young lads, obviously doing our thing in that as well. It's good to sort of.
Man.
Even like opportunities like this, just to sit down, chat with each other, and you know, I suppose we've got a few people listening and that as well.
That's it, man.
I mean, no, we've got people from the shop as well that we got people ask us as well. They're like, oh yeah, when's the next podcast? Who you got coming on and this and that.
Yeah.
So it's good, man. There's a lot of interest in every aspect of what each of us are doing. So
Bro.
That's it, man.
You know,
Yeah.
You know when you put that song on? What's it called? Past Life.
Fast life, yeah.
Yeah. Did you put that out first, and then was you out performing it beforehand, or did you?
oh yeah.
No. So it was a mad one actually. The craziest bit about I don't think I've even told you this. Actually.
I don't think.
Oh, look, exclusive stuff.
I remember
now,
exclusive. So me and Jordan had so Jordan used to live. So do you remember the video?
I watched it the other day.
So that was Jordan's mum's apartment.
No way.
Yeah, bro. That was
That's
just off of Clare Street.
Was it far? Well, is that Far Cotton?
No, Clare Street, bro. Like literally just off the Kettering Road.
Oh really?
Yeah, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, that
So
sounds
it
shit.
was like,
I'm trying to be like, yeah, I know where that is. No, cool. Yeah, if not, that was what I was gonna say next. That's true, yeah.
But yeah, man, we were having a session, and it was the first proper session we had. And funnily enough, Jordan said to me, "He was like, oh, have you ever heard of a guy called Weirdoe?" I was like, "Nah."
What, then?
Yeah,
Really?
and it was just after his freestyle had dropped, the JDT
No,
freestyle, the one that went
no.
mental. And he was like, "Bro, this is going fucking mental. Like, watch this." And that's when I first heard of Weir. And then, funnily enough, that night was the night that we made Past Life. We did it in one evening, and then we literally dropped it like a week later. We just dropped it on YouTube, man. Like, we just dropped it on YouTube, and then suddenly, it automatically, like, organically started
This is the
doing well.
reason that I should see, because like, I remember, luckily enough for me, a lot of the people that were supporting me and a lot of my critiques as well, like they were there in front of me. You know what I mean? Like when I said to you earlier that, you know, my brother and stuff was a big inspiration to me. I remember trying to impress people his age, you know, and like I feel sorry for kids nowadays because it must be so tough, like putting out a song online and then just waiting by a screen to see what people actually think of it. Like when, you know what I mean? When it was my age, well, back when I used to first do it, it was different, man.
Kids are different now, innit?
It was just loads different.
Yeah,
you stood in a room, you seen people's expressions on their faces. You know, you could go from spitting into the mic to looking up and being able to see whether whatever you're doing is right or wrong.
Just from the reaction of
That's
people's...
it. But imagine now, like, imagine being at the age where it is now, where you're making songs, you're putting all that effort into it, you're
Everyone's
spending money on
this and that,
studio
TikTok,
time, producers, etc., just to sit there and put that song out and wait by your screen to not even know what people's real thoughts are.
Yeah, that's... Do you know what?
Do you get what I mean?
Mad. It just goes to show the generation.
It's a bit of a
man.
surreal thing for me, man. I think if I wouldn't have had that period in my life where I was able to experience that first bit of, like, you know,
It's first impressions.
set of vinyls, bro,
yeah.
wheel-ups, all of that, like, you know what I mean, wheel-ups on actual vinyls and everyone going mental and shaking up the room. Like, if I wouldn't have had that, I don't think I'd have ever found the confidence to actually put a song out.
Because there's such a difference between, like you said, lighting up the room and then just waiting there. Refreshing the page.
Yeah.
It's way
It's
different,
so
man.
different.
It's nerve-wracking.
So
How many
different.
times have you scrolled past something, you know, on your phone and you're like, yeah, that's all right, man. And you should hit the like and you should hit the comment. But you don't, do you?
Because you don't always think
okay.
about it. Yeah, okay, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what my problem is sometimes as well? Is I'll watch something and I'll watch it for like, I don't know, I'll watch it for a minute or so and I think, this is sick.
Yeah.
And then, but I'm thinking, fuck. And then it's only since obviously we've opened up here, I'm now realising, like, that's took a minute of your time.
Exactly.
And you've
that,
enjoyed
yeah,
what
yeah,
they're watching.
I hear that.
fucking like it, man.
I hear that.
But before, like, it's not that I disliked it. It's not that I
Yeah.
weren't supporting. It's just sometimes it's just my brain didn't.
Subconsciously, you don't like it. You don't comment it. But
Yeah.
that person now doesn't know what you think of it.
Yeah.
You could rate it, but no one knows you rate it.
Yeah, of
because no
course.
one actually...
Whereas if you could look
Has
at me
asked you.
watching it,
Exactly.
you'd understand.
That's it. If we
Or
run
they'd
set in here
understand.
right now, and I start
Yeah,
spitting
yeah.
bars, and you like in at least base facing or something,
Yeah.
then I'm gonna sit here and feel like, yo,
Base facing.
someone else take the mic. Like, you know, I'm in the wrong room.
Yeah.
The thing is as well, I think like a lot of musicians share it, like saying, commenting, liking on a post or something like that. It costs nothing to the audience. But it does make a difference. Like, it does because it obviously everything works on an algorithm.
Yeah.
And you're playing that algorithm. Do you know what I mean? So you're like obviously from your brand, like especially like obviously you're wanting like your customers and that to engage with the content you're putting out because that's going to then spurn it on to more people.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So then they can get to know about you guys and all that sort of stuff. Same works for us, man. Like you just hope that people will comment on it,
together.
like it. If enough people do that, it's going to show on more people's feeds.
Yeah,
Obviously, Instagram's
yeah.
or TikTok, whatever. It's only going to let you see that like a small percentage of your audience actually see what you were putting
We
out.
noticed it massively this week. Like we did a thing. We did like George did it. It was like we popped out like a reel. I think it hit like 3K views.
Yeah.
And then we just put out a thing saying like, can just a few people share this? Can people share this video? And then next thing you know, like I don't know, like 10 people, 10, 15 people have shared this video.
Yeah.
And within 5 minutes, it jumped up from 3K to 6K.
Yeah, man.
And then in
That's what I
24
mean.
hours, it gone from 6K to over 10.
Okay.
Right, it can make so much difference.
And
By
it's
like
mad.
by 15, like 10, 15 people
Yeah,
sharing
man.
And it's even like people like Passenger, like Lawrence down there, Ben as well, and just, you know, just they're at the minute, you know, they're on the same journey as us lot, innit? And it's just we've had these conversations about almost coming together and just sort of let's just push each other, man. And it's seeing little results like that at the time where you're going, as much as life's busy. But when you see little things like that and you go, do you know what, actually, bloody hell, 10.2k people seen this.
Yeah.
It's okay. And, but you know, like, I don't know, it's
When you think you've
it's
only
mad,
got like,
isn't
when you
it?
think you've only got like 600-700 people that come to the shop,
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
like as customers,
Yeah.
and then you think another 9.5, 10,000 people have seen that
Yeah.
video that don't come to the shop.
That's what I mean, man.
Like,
Do you know what I find? Do you know what I find difficult as well? It's like, you know, when you ask people to share it, you know, maybe before or whatever, people may think, oh, you know, you're just trying to like show off or this and that, or you know, and what. Whereas now it's like, no, like this is our job.
Yeah.
This is what we're trying to do. We're trying to push it, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like all of us, like we're just trying to push
you
it on.
You try to get it past that nice
Yeah.
little balance as well, as like where it's not cheesy, it's not too
Yeah.
in your face. It's got to look authentic. It's got to look original,
Exactly,
which leads us
man.
back to the original point. Remember, like
Being
you got to stand out, man. Do you know what I mean? Like you can't.
Yeah.
But you boys doing this is standing out.
It is.
Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because like,
Oh, I'll tell you what, we're enjoying like
Right.
this as well. Do you know what I mean?
That's
It's
what I
even
mean.
better
It's
for us
hard.
as well.
Think
Like it's
like
good
it,
to
man.
just chat and the thing is, it's chatting with you boys. It's like it's probably no different than if we were down the pub or you know
go.
out whatever. And yeah, we just got cameras here, and you know, hopefully, it's like you know, a thing that we like to do is sort of hope that people can relate to stories or be inspired by it
course,
because
man, yeah.
we're inspired by a lot of people, and listening to you guys, we're going to leave here inspired. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
it's
man.
everything,
I
man.
think
and-
people really pick up on you like if you're like authentic,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
like as well as like being like a really, as long as you're just like you.
yeah.
People then appreciate you like doing you. If you're like doing something and they'll look at it, they'll watch it and they'll think, you're fake, like that looks fake. You looks like you're trying too hard. But if you're like, if you're just doing your thing, like I think what we're trying to do in here, it's like everyone's just normal.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Everyone comes in, you're always greeted, like everything's like, and then whenever we post stuff, it's like everyone appreciates that you're in when you're filming stuff, whether it's like a stupid video of George dancing or doing something,
Yeah.
like, or
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like me doing something else, or Alex or Joe. Like everyone's just still in the video, still themselves.
Being themselves, man.
And then
yeah.
for you guys, like you with your mad ass videos and like it's just you being you.
Yeah.
But that's the whole thing with
Like-
It's
the brand,
reflecting the creative side as well, isn't it?
right? That's the whole concept with him. Is like we've always said to each other, like the stuff that he says in his songs is real. Like there's nothing that sort of, unless we're making it perfectly clear that we're trying to tell like some wacky story or something. We're making it real. So the stuff that the stories he'll say are real life events that have happened to him or scenarios he's been in. And we've always wanted to strip back the whole idea of, bro, it's easy enough, like, if he wants to go and get some fake grill or something now,
Yeah.
and do you know what I mean, do a load of flexing in a video or whatever, that's quite easy to do, man. That's not that hard.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's
yeah.
not, and trying to show people, trying to portray the image that like he's minted and all this other sort of stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but then
The thing I love about this guy, the thing I love about this, I can shout at him and go, Harley, I feel this type of way at the minute. Like, I could be up. I could be in my little element, like, I've been listening to a lot of grime music recently, man. I'm just on that vibe right now. It just happens.
Would you say that sometimes, like, even when you're on a low time as well,
Yeah,
it
happened recently,
innit?
like, this guy's got a crazy way of knowing what I'm feeling at the time and then expressing that through his music, that then it makes it easier and allows me to then express more on that music. So
he's
it's
going
like,
great. So when you come to a thing, not in a obviously patronising way, but he's going great. Let's use this, man.
Yeah,
let's go with this.
no,
Let's
no,
roll
for
with
real.
it.
For real.
Let's use this. Let's turn this into something fucking sick, man.
There's a million
Let's
ways
go
you
with
could use it in there.
Let's
There's
buzz
a
off
million
it.
ways.
Yeah.
I could go out and, do feel a certain way and do a madness and put that into a negative situation.
Yeah.
This is a way of expressing it where, people appreciate me expressing how I feel. You know what I mean?
I think like situations like that as well. It's like you could, like you said, you could so easily go and do a madness or do something negative. But it's,
Exactly.
I think nowadays, man, it's so important to understand for, especially the younger lads, man, that you use that same energy, man.
Trust
go and
me.
do something fucking sick. Use that
Trust me.
same thought process, that same energy you're going to put into that. Go and do something good, man, because you can.
Yeah.
And, and,
Exactly.
what you
that,
boys are
man.
doing, it is.
Yeah, man, and it's keeping the focus and for the right reasons as well, man. If you're going to go into this, if you're going to think like, I want to be a rapper, I want to be a producer because I want to be balling, man. Like, I want to be rich, I want to have these nice cars and all that sort of shit. Bro, that can happen, man. But like, it'll be short lived. Like, there'll be no longevity. There won't be like you won't be a Nas or an Eminem or something like that. If someone's got like even like someone like Skepta or whatever going to the UK, who's got like a longevity in their career because it'll be like a splash in the pan, man. It'll be like a short-lived. Like, you have your moment in the sun or whatever. Your 5 minutes of fame, and then it's gone, bro. And then you've got nothing but debt. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like because you've lived too hard for such a short period of time. That's what I mean, man. Like you see it happen over and over again. Like even if you look at fucking on the grander scheme of things, like Wolf of Wall Street sort of type shit. Do you know what I mean? Look at the way that guy was living, and then all of a sudden, do you know what I mean? He was banged up and fucking. Do you know what I mean? I know he's turned his life around since then, but not everyone gets that opportunity, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like that's why you got to just.
I can't see my life without it.
Nah.
Personally,
No.
that's the way I
It's
feel.
what you
it.
get your buzz from.
Yeah, that's what I can't see my life without it.
what you work towards,
a lot of
yeah.
people. One thing I said before is, a lot of people. You say to them, "Well, what do you do?"
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and a lot of people just answer what they do for a living, don't they? What they do for a job. Yeah, but is that what you do? That's the way I
Yeah.
like to look at it. Is that actually what you do?
Is that you?
Is that you?
Is that you?
Is that your
Is
is that
Is
what
that
you
who
identify
you are?
as
Like,
now?
you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Because,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it's people's natural instinct. People ask me, what do I do? I make music.
Yeah, man.
You know, whether I'm where I want to be right now doing that, that's what I do.
And that's what I'm
Do
doing.
you know what I mean? And that's what makes me, in my opinion, it's what makes me, unique and
Yeah.
different to other people.
100%.
Exactly,
that's it,
genuine.
man.
That's it. But I can't imagine my life without it personally.
Yeah.
I think it'd be a very dull life where you felt like, the only way you could express yourself in was to, live amongst it all. Do you get what I mean? We can
Rat
all
race.
go out. That's
Rat
it.
race.
We can all go out and we can all have a swig and we can all do a bit of this
And then
a
go
bit
and
of
have
that
another
and
swig at the weekend.
that's it, and tell
then
each other
back
all the
again.
crazy stories.
Yeah.
Groundhog
What
Day,
have you
man.
really done
It's
apart
like
from
Groundhog
stood
Day,
around
yeah.
in bars
Yeah,
drinking
yeah.
or, you might try to make yourself seem interesting by doing, I don't know, some unauthentic shit.
Yeah.
But the bottom line of it is, like, unless you've actually got a passion for something, what is the point? What's
Where's
point
the
of
end
any-
goal?
Where's the point
Rather
of any
than
of
the
it? That's
circle,
it. It's
yeah, yeah.
existing. Do you know what I mean? Being alive and living are two different things, man. Two very different things.
No, you're right, man.
So
Sorry.
go on.
No, I was gonna say for like, let's say that we got some younger lads listening there. Let's say this podcast does well, and we got a lot, because for us as barbers, we see a lot of younger lads coming in here now, and I don't know, But how we used to go about when we were younger to how some of these lot go about when they're younger now, it's
man, it's mad.
it's riskier.
Scary, bro.
It's madness,
Scary,
and they got so much ego, and they got this, and they got that mate to impress, and this group chat to act big on, and
Yeah.
how do you change that? How do you sort of come away from that sort of I don't know, man, like egotistical sort of lifestyle where you're just sort of blending in with everyone else to try and impress everyone? Because it's
It's the same. It's literally
God,
the
just
same
have
conversation, man. You give a man purpose and you watch him succeed.
yeah,
Do you get what I mean? Like the reason that they're doing nothing, in my opinion, is because you've got nothing to do. You've
Yeah.
not found your passion. I'm lucky, man. Like I'm so lucky. I say it all the time. I'm so lucky, man. When I was younger, I had this mad interest in poetry. I knew I liked words. I knew I liked, you know.
you're self-aware.
I love that world. I just love that whole world. I love words. I love, you know, articulating myself. And I love expressing myself.
What's
with
going on
words.
up here? You put it. Up
That's
there.
it. I've always liked to write, even if it was, you know, like I said, the poetry thing, but even stories. I remember writing stories
Really,
as a kid. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Me too, man.
But it all resonates with everything you do today.
That's it. Same as you boys.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean? It's exactly the same. It's a passion.
Yeah.
You found your sense of purpose, and you know, if it was any other way, bottom end of the story, you could be one of them people. You could be one of them people
100%.
up to nonsense. I'm saying it's not hard to do, but if you walk around this earth without purpose, you're not gonna find what's worth living for, and that's why most of these kids nowadays are just prepared to die.
Yeah.
That's the bottom end of
It's
it.
a consequence. I feel like they don't think about things long term, do they? They live in the moment, and it's like, bro, come on, man.
Guarantee if you ask any one of them, though, you know what I mean? Most of them will regret it.
100%.
Eventually, somewhere along the line, they find something that's worth living for. But by that point, they're already too deep in it, you know? I've personally experienced it, you know, recently. You know, I know a lot of people that have lived fast, and you know what they say about the people that live fast?
Yeah.
Fortunately, they die young, you know? And that's the sad ending. And, you know, there ain't no book written by J.K. Rowling. There ain't no fucking, you know, there ain't no movie made about you unless you made your mark in this world.
Memories, yeah.
I think everyone wants that, don't they? Everyone wants to make their mark in the world. Everyone wants to be...
Remember for something good, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to be...
But it's all because everything looks so easy now on media, you know. You're watching TikTok and everything, and everybody makes so much money because of it. One.
It's like
one
like
little
Harlz
video.
saying about algorithm. It's
I
like,
mean, this is what I'm saying. I mean, yeah. And
It's so easy.
yeah, and the kids they just see, oh, this guy is so successful, and he got like he's 19 years old or 18 years old. I'm 25 and I do nothing.
Right, this is the thing, though. It's a smoke. It's
depressing for some.
It's a smoke and mirrors effect, and obviously that is affecting obviously a lot of like mental health and issues for kids and that as well, isn't it? Because obviously, as you say, you see like this 19-year-old like this, or even younger kid who's like popping on TikTok or whatever. But what they don't know is they've got mummy and daddy fronting a load of money up into the marketing campaign to boost them up, or dad knows fucking the CEO of some company or whatever, and they're putting you on, and they're matching it up. It's a business. It's all business, bro. But as a young lad, you ain't gonna look at it like that. You could think, oh, well,
you don't know any different.
I've got a talent or whatever, but why are they popping and I'm not? To an extent, you could even be better than that
You
person.
got that clash,
you know what I mean?
don't you? You got that clash, ain't you? You got that clash of, do I want to be the person that's seen, or do I want to be myself? I watched a video the other day, and it said the best way to push your, you know, push whatever you're trying to push out is to find videos of other people that have done well and copy their format.
yeah, no, I know.
See how many of them videos you've seen?
Yeah, no,
That's it.
And,
Use the same
and
words.
add your twist onto it or
That's
whatever.
it. Use the same words.
Yeah,
use the
yeah,
same
yeah,
light,
yeah.
and use the same thing. And then before you know it, you're just not even the same. In fact, you're exactly the same. In fact, you're exactly the same as them, and now you're just another
Added
person
your slight little twist on
that
like
gets
every other
scrolled
one's
by,
done.
that eventually doesn't get the like, doesn't get the comment, because everyone can just see through your nonsense, basically.
Yeah.
That's the truth of it.
It's like, I feel like even as us, as kids, you know, when we're younger, we are sponges to the environment.
Yeah, man.
And whereas now our environment were the people we hung about with, the areas we grew up in, nowadays, you're a sponge to the environment of what you're viewing on the screen. And like you said about algorithms, if you're constantly seeing, it's like, okay, let's go back. I mean, I don't want to disrespect drill, but, you know, if you're constantly seeing the same drill, with the same videos, the same things that are happening, and you're inspired by it, you're going to do the same as all of that. You know, and like I said, it's not drill, it's everything as well, but it's like if the same negative stuff, let's say there's a negative version of it, and sometimes it's just the influence is probably sometimes wrong in a certain perspective, but do you know what I mean?
You're right, because look at grime.
Yeah.
I come from an era where people spoke about the same shit, but they just did it in a more clever way.
Yeah.
Whereas now they use stuff like metaphors and similes, and it was actually smart enough to go, shit, if I actually say it like that, I might get nicked. Like now, they don't even care. Like,
no, that's what, and I think that's because I don't want to be one of these, like, you know, people think you're one of these old preachers. They go, oh yeah, no, band. I'm not saying that.
No.
But lyrically, be more clever.
Yeah.
Be more clever in a way that you can inspire, but in a good way that's going to make it peaceful for everyone. Not in a sense of like, still rap about what's going on, real life situations, but just use more metaphors, man.
That's it, man.
You know what I mean?
Bro, the thing is, you see, like, I deep it quite a lot, man. I get quite interested. Like, there's a YouTuber, you know, Trap Law Ross. You know,
I
never seen
don't.
that. He'll cover like stories from around the world, like gang-related activity and crime and all that, and especially if it's music-related. And he talks a lot about the London drill scene and stuff like that. And bro, the amount of these rappers that have been killed, bro, like, it's ridiculous, man. Like, and it's like ages of like 14, 16 and that, and it's over stupid shit. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, and some of them, bro, they're fucking talented guys, man. Like, they've actually had like the wordplay and that, and if they had just done it in the right way, things could have been panned out so much different. But they chose to live that life as much as they were talking about it. Whereas there's other artists out there that are smart enough to maybe glorify a life that they're not actually living themselves. So they're capitalising.
Works both ways.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it does. You're
it's
right.
Like in that moment, it's like their role models at the time, what they're looking up to, and which they think is right. They're only looking up to the same people in their estate. Yeah. The same people in the estate like this, that's my only role model because I ain't got this, I ain't got that. So this is the guy I'm looking up to. I don't go this and. Yeah, sometimes it's just like, I'm going to do the same as he's doing.
It's looking past that, isn't it? It's like, it's looking to the point of like, you know, you have your personal role models and that, but then it's like looking at, you know, especially if you know someone who's from the same town as you, who's from, you know, even from London, like the amount of like talented people who've had like celebrities and shit come out of London, like even if there's someone from the same state as you who's made it, like, mate, that is like, do you know what I mean? Like, in making it doesn't need to be being rich and famous and stuff like that. Making it is just, you know, being able to, you know, buy a fucking house. Do you know what I mean? Get a mortgage or something
just
like
be
that.
happy, man.
Making your mark.
Yeah, just making your mark. Do you know what I mean?
Go home and chill out, innit?
Right, that's it, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's like, everyone's got their own perception of making it. Making it for me is being able to, you know, like, give my kids a life that, you know what I mean? Like, not that I didn't have, but like, just even enhance that even more.
How can I improve it? Yeah,
of course. You know what I mean? Like, how can I improve that even more? How can I give them life experiences? Take them places around the world and shit like that. That's, you know what I mean? That's the goal.
It's like you said, it's just about being self-aware, innit? Like, what do I actually want from this? Yeah, man. It's like sometimes I speak to some of the younger lads, and it's like you need to look at every situation sometimes, whether you're in here or out of there, and it's like, right, regardless of whatever situation that you're in, what positive can I take from this? What can I take away from this? And if you look at the situation and go, right, okay, the positive that I can take away from this is by leaving this. Yeah. And fucking do that, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Because sometimes
for real.
you get the stress of this and this beef, that beef, and then you sort of come away with a repercussion. It's just so long, man. It's just drama, innit? And stress is a killer, innit, man?
Yeah, bro.
It's just long, innit?
That's what I mean, man.
Yeah, 100%. But
man, just try
we'll try to do our bit, though, boys, innit?
That's what I mean, man. Like
we'll try to do our bit, whatever voice we have.
I think that's the funny thing with us, though, is like when we do studio sessions and stuff like that, like fucking Ren actually said it the other week, didn't he? He came to a studio session with us, and obviously the music we turn out, like sometimes it is aggressive stuff and it's stuff like that, but then like the minute that we're not recording, we're just catching jokes, man.
Yeah,
like, it's so light-hearted and that. We're just mates. Do you know what I mean? We just chill. Do you know what I mean? We're not when we meet up and that, we're not always having to do music. We just, you know what I mean? We can chill. Like,
I think sometimes when you listen to music, there's a difference between listening to it, enjoying it, and there's a difference between
soaking it
all in, acting upon it.
Yeah.
Just enjoy it for the art, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's art.
That's it.
Art, man. It's the same way as fucking Picasso painted whatever he painted. Do you know what I mean? It's art. Do you know what I mean? I would say Mona Lisa, but I'm not too sure he painted it.
He didn't, bro, no.
This is where my barbering's coming out, innit? This is why we're barbering. Joey, don't, 'cause I'm going to ask you a maths question in a minute as well, and then I'm going to really embarrass you.
Hey, ask you maths, man. I've got a GCSE in it, so that's
more than me then, bro.
Well, little Josh taught me maths earlier, so I'm good, man. So at that moment in time, with your freestyle, what was obviously seeing the reception from that, lyrically, the influence from that? What was going on in your life at the time?
How old would I have been?
18.
About 18, 19, yeah. I was going through a bit of a crazy patch, to be fair with you. I kind of like was at that age, by about 16. Obviously, my life, you know what I mean? Throughout my life, I've been throwing some serious curveballs. But around that time, about 16, I mean, my mum got ill, my dad passed away. Do you know what I mean? Like, there was some things that happened in my life that I think I've become quite numb, bit, you know what I mean, a bit depressed kind of thing. And yeah, I continued using the music as a, you know, an outlet, but I just don't think I cared that much, you know, being young and careless, and I probably didn't open myself up properly, or, you know, from a kind of strategic point with the reception I was getting. Obviously, I do regret that now, obviously, you know what I mean, but it helps a lot.
Yeah.
It helps a lot.
You closed up into the music more.
Well, that's it. It's like, you know what I mean? The first thing you guys mentioned, remember that video. So to kind of like jump back on that train later on and actually develop a few more years with the writing and songwriting as well. Like, I don't come from a songwriting background. I come from more of a throw me on a set and let me spray some bars.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So I got a little bit of practice before I met Harlz. I got a little bit of practice in trying to structure songs and actually make it music instead of it just being, you know, for entertainment value like it was at the time.
How old was you at the time? Did you say 16?
When my life kind of took a bit of a flip side, I was 16, yeah.
If you could show that 16-year-old what's going on now and some of the things that you're doing,
I'd be buzzing.
Innit, man?
It'd be buzzing.
Do you not find that sometimes that's the most motivating thought sometimes when you're at this age is, I could show my younger self this.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
How inspiring, man, that's it.
Absolutely.
Innit?
Yeah, no, absolutely, man.
Good, man, good.
Yeah.
You should be.
Is this what you're doing now? Is this always been a dream for you? Like,
I don't know.
No, I don't.
all three is
yeah.
I think it has been, but like it's weird because I went through like a bit of a rough patch between like 20 to 24, like a big one. But it's weird because I don't look back on it. I don't know. Sometimes you look back on it and you think, I do regret it. Like, I wish I'd have been probably in a better place by now, or maybe somewhere further along. But like at the same time, I think, man, I don't actually regret it because I hit it hard.
Yeah.
Learned from it, and now like I am where I am.
That's the main bit.
Yeah, that's it.
And you sort of like, and you look back and you think, actually, like, I have lived my life.
I've done some
stuff. Yeah, add
if you
character.
can get through to the other side of it, then you can look back and say, yeah, added character.
Yeah.
It's if you get stuck in it.
Yeah.
Where you become. It becomes a bad thing.
Yeah, and I think you sort of look back and you think, actually, no, I know now that like this.
Did you know what you wanted to do though? So hang on a minute. So when did you start?
So I was always cutting. I've been cutting 16 years. Started cutting at 16.
16.
Yeah. So then I was doing that, and then I just like elevated to like a point where I don't know, almost 2021, just 2024, just almost too good for my own mindset. I was too immature. So I was like, I didn't really know how to handle it.
Yeah.
And I think like barbering weren't what it is. Barbering isn't what it is today. That's only happened in the last, I'd say, like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Like it just seems to have just took off. It's gone to a whole nother level. But when I was doing it, there was only really like now there's like, you can look around Northampton and that's where like the originality sort of comes from it.
Yeah.
It's like for us as a barber shop, when we went to go and set us up, it was like looking at every other shop around town.
Yeah.
And we felt like a lot of the people that we knew had already set up shops. So we're looking at what they're doing, and we're going, well, how can we be different?
Yeah.
Because we're looking around, and like everyone's doing what they're doing. Everyone's put their own sort of small individual stamp on what they're doing. But we thought, how can we
add a big stamp,
elevate what we want to do?
Yeah.
Because we want to get to the higher level of like barbering. So you want to be recognised in the game.
Yeah, man.
For what we're doing. So we thought we sat down and did that, and I think at 24, like the only barbershop
What
in
did
the
you say
town.
about 2024?
Yeah.
I think that's probably like the most difficult part of a man's life, you know. Like there's something that happens between them ages where
teenager
you kind of,
to adult
you
almost.
struggle to put the big boy pants on, man.
Yeah.
That's the way
No,
it
you
is.
do.
Like,
No,
you do,
it's
man.
true, man.
You
That
do.
is
You're
so
kind of
true.
like in this
You're
mindset
lost.
of like, am I still a child? Like, how do people see me? Am I the adult that I once thought I was gonna be, or trying to be, or am I still?
Do you know
in that phase of let's live young and reckless
No,
kind
but you
of
do.
thing, innit?
You're at home. Like, I mean, for me, like, I know some people move out quite young. They move out as soon as they turn 18. Like, some people you move out younger. But for me, like, I was still at home. I was earning like big boy money for like someone that didn't have any bills.
There you go, yeah.
And then that money just, unfortunately for me, I was immature enough to like put my money into something that I shouldn't be spending
Creates
my
a
money on.
recklessness, innit? It's like,
And then all of a
it's
sudden,
easily
like,
earned, easily spent kind of
that's
thing.
just-
Yeah.
you're living
And
like
a lot
this.
of people was doing the same thing as you at that time, I suppose.
Yeah, your ego, and then it just feeds
course.
you feeds your ego. Then you start feeling invincible, and you're like, and then all of a sudden you're like, man, I'm untouchable.
Yeah.
All you are really is you're just untouchable in your own town.
Yeah, that's it,
Like,
man.
actually, in a real world perspective, no one knows who you are.
Yeah.
Like, and then you sort of, you just start losing your mind.
Losing your way as well. You know what I mean? You lose your passion, you lose what you care for. I went through the same thing.
Yeah.
Exactly the same time period. Around that time, like, I couldn't care about nothing like that, really. I couldn't really care. Like, I grew up spitting the bars and writing the lyrics and stuff like that. It's just something that I did. I didn't ever sit there and think, like, I'd sit myself down and go, where can you see yourself in 5 years? I didn't care.
You weren't that type of thinking didn't even cross your mind.
That's it. I just didn't care. Like, what I cared about is, what am I doing tomorrow? What's the motive?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What's the motive today?
Who's out?
We
Who's
drinking
out?
up, you know what I mean? We're gonna find some girl, like whatever we're doing. But that was the mindset. Like, what am I doing tomorrow?
No,
What is it I'm doing today?
No, it's funny because like it's how you said earlier. It's like you can go out and you can go and rent a Lamborghini for a week, do do this, live this lifestyle. And for me, that was the mindset. It was like, but it doesn't last long. It lasted 4 years.
Yeah.
Like, I could go and buy like an expensive car, I was driving around, and you do all that, but like it's gonna come to an end at some point.
Yeah, bro.
Of course.
Whereas like the real stuff, like what I feel like we're doing now, is like where you hear and you think, actually, like, this shit's hard, but it comes at a price, like emotionally, like mentally, physically, everything. But the long-term goal, you know, it's there.
It makes it worth living, man.
Yeah, because it's more real.
That's it.
You're like, I'm only here to try and, like, the only people that I really need to try and impress are the people that I'm in business with.
That's
That's
it, man.
it.
And the people I'm working with, my clients, they're like the fundamentals of everything. It's like, as long as they're happy, and as long as me and George, and like, we sit down at the end and we go like, we're happy with where the shop's going. Like, that's the real stuff.
Yeah, man.
And it's more enjoyable.
Yeah, it is. Whereas like before, you used to, when you were 20, 21, you're like going out and like, there's other lads around town who are like the bigger names in town. Like you said, for like your artists, like you're looking at someone who's come out of your estate, or looking at someone who's on the estate, and you're like looking at them going, yeah, that's who I want to be. Whereas actually, the person you should want to be is someone completely different.
Guy at the top.
The guy at the top who's not even living that lifestyle,
Nope.
but you're going out in town every weekend and trying to impress what you cast as like your local town big
Locally
lads.
famous
Oh,
sort
yeah,
of
And
stuff.
like,
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
think,
yeah.
and you're out and you're going, oh yeah, I was out with him at the weekend. And you think, actually, no one gives a fuck.
No one cares.
The only person that cares
I
is
travel
you.
60 miles down the road, no one gives a fuck what you're talking about, bro. No one cares.
It's like that Matthew McConaughey thing as well. You know, like, have you seen it as like, they ask him who his role model is? I don't know, they ask him at certain ages and they go, right, who's your role model? And he goes, oh yeah, it's me in 10 years time. They ask him in 10 years time, he goes, oh yeah, it's me in 5 years time or whatnot. And it's like always that guy ahead of him.
Yeah, man.
And I think it's quite a cool mentality to have.
It
And
is,
I
bro.
think, yeah.
I think it's a good mentality as well. It's like, just because you're the loudest person in the room doesn't mean you're the smartest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've got to, it's about, you know what I mean? You've got to play the long game in anything you do. It's nothing's going to happen overnight.
Yeah.
Like, the whole idea of overnight success, I think, is just, you know, it's something that, it's a dream that people want to be sold. But the reality of it is, like, it's, you know what I mean? Your life can change dramatically very quickly. But as you just said, bro, like, it's whether you can sustain that lifestyle and make it something that is going to become your life, or are you going to peak and then fall down worse than what you started with? You know, like, and that's why it's good to have the hustle, man, because then when you get to the point where you've succeeded, or in your mind you've succeeded, you can go, you know what, I fucking worked my ass off for this, man. And now look where we are. You know what I mean?
So a little small, like, even for us at the minute, it's it's like even just by doing our reels and by getting the interactions and someone coming, oh, yeah, that was funny that you did the other day. Well, that was quite cool. This and that, and it's just the small little wins along the way that just make the whole process. The end goal's this, but when you get to the end goal, along the way, you've got so many small little bits of rewards that people are appreciating what you're doing and understanding. And
it's like when you get a brand new game, innit? You just hit the cheat code and instantly it's fucking boring. Now what? You know what I mean? But the best this, best that, best this, best that. But what's the
nothing
point
to
of playing
work
the game
towards
and
now.
switch it off?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Eventually, you don't want to play it. That's the bottom line of it, and that's
true, man.
That's why most people just lose their way. You know, they get involved in all the negative stuff we're talking about.
Yeah.
I think it's good though, man. The hustle's hard.
Yeah.
Like everyone only ever sees, like everyone will watch like your music video and go, "Oh, that's a sick music video." But I'd never see like fucking the actual the hustle that's in it. Like
down.
With as him on top of the garage.
Right, that's some fucking mad scenarios, bro. Like, even like some of the situations we've had to like, with like the Born in the Barn mixtape, like the EP, whatever you want to call it, that came out last year. One of those, you know what I'm about to go with this, don't you?
What?
Factual. When we're recording Factual Court.
Oh yeah.
So basically, like, we wrote that song during lockdown, so we weren't really seeing a lot of each other. I'd made the beat, sent it over to him, he wrote it, and I think we were trying to get it recorded, and it just weren't happening, man, because we couldn't get into a studio or anything. And eventually, it got to the point where, like, you know, we'd go through that stage where it was lockdown, then it'd ease, then it would lockdown, then it'd ease.
Yeah.
At the time where I was living, it was like a very like a wooden house, like it was very wooden, so it was very like echoey and shit like that. So like acoustic wise for recording weren't the one. So he was coming around for a session. I was like, bro, we've got to make this work, man. We've got to somehow make it work. So botched it, bro. Botched it. So we had my daughter's wardrobe, yeah. I opened up the wardrobe doors and we had a mattress for my newborn daughter who hadn't been born yet. We put that fucker across the top.
That reminds me of people do nothing.
Bro, and we just hanging down like the duvet and shit. And then
it works.
And there he is, he's standing in the wardrobe, right, with the mic
and it works.
The blanket over the top.
That's the version that's out on the
Really? No.
Make sure you stand on the rug. Make sure you stand on the rug. It makes a difference. Bouncing off the floor.
Really? So you can tell, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
like, if you're, I mean, like, even the room we're in now, really, you know, from the sound engineering that we need for the vocals we need it very isolated. You know?
Yeah.
So even something like this, you can hear the reverb, the echo, and ideally you don't want any of that. You want it as dry as possible.
Especially not even loud, man.
So, hey, me,
loud voice.
Yeah, when I spit, I'm very loud, so it just bounces everywhere.
No,
this is some
good.
kind of Billie Eilish style with her brother.
Oh,
they were saying kind of the same. Yeah, they were recording it.
It's funny you mentioned that, like, because her brother who produced it, he made this quote.
Is he a guitarist?
Bro, I think he plays a bit of everything, really. The guy's a genius, man.
They were recording in the wardrobe as well. I've seen some stories about it. Yeah,
like, he will say, because obviously that first album, that Billie Eilish album, he produced it all in the bedroom and that, and he's like, I find it mad how like everyone's going out, how's this album like a Grammy-nominated album and that? But he said, but most of the time when I go to a proper professional recording studio, I see these fuckers spending an hour just trying to figure out how to attach their aux cord. Do you know what I mean? To their Mac. Because they don't know what they're doing, bro. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, you walk into these big studios, it's got all this analog gear, stuff like, do you know what I mean? It's been there for fucking years. Like, where, like,
all the gear, but no idea.
That's it, bro. Whereas now, all you need to make, you know this as well, bro. I know, like, all you need to make music is a laptop. Like, you can make a track on just a laptop. You don't need all this other shit around you. Like, it's lovely if you've got access to all that. You know what I mean? Crack on. And if you learn how to use it, then you know what I mean. You're at a good advantage. But you know, like, you don't need to go into a big studio.
Yeah, you don't always need
to record. Like Ed Sheeran's first album, bro, that wasn't recorded in like some big fancy studio.
I remember him and Devlin outside that pub in London, man.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
such a
even like
sick
the streets. Do you know what I mean? Like Mike Skinner, bro. Like the way we record now, we'll still put the fucking mattress up on the wall, bro. We're still doing.
You have to do what you got to do.
Organically. We're not going to record. We're recording it at, like, you know, George is part of our team, bro. Like, co-producer, co-engineer, and all that sort of stuff. Like, we're recording it in his studio, and
that George is. He's the other guy, part of your team as well.
Grim. Man. Yeah,
we'll have to get George on here as well,
bro,
man. That'd be real cool, man. Like, meet
man.
George and that, because you guys. I've heard a bit about George as well. So
bro.
He's got a good name as well, isn't he?
Grim.
Yeah, I like that name.
We'll let him tell.
You meant the George bit, didn't you?
Yeah. He sounds like a G. Talking about G's anyway, man. Harley, you look like a G in that jumper. Tell me about it, man.
Bit of Weirdoe merch, bro.
It is, man. It is, man.
Come on.
I like it. It's looking cool, man.
Right.
The thing is, as well, like I
It
look
looks
at that
like
and
me.
I do see the brand. I do.
Mate.
It's cool. The glasses, everything, man. The whole part of it. So,
Yeah, man.
how did you come to that design as well with it?
Bro, we've got to shout out East Midland Demons for this one.
Really?
Because they, like, you know what I mean? They teamed up with us
Straight
for
up,
that.
man.
Yeah,
When I
bro.
kind of gave him an idea of almost what I wanted, he said, send me a reference. We sent him kind of what we've been doing for the project, and he just came straight back with that, and I was like, that's just me.
Yeah.
Clearly, like you can
Literally,
see it.
yeah.
That's just me, and it fits the brand perfectly, man. It's kind of like, you know, grimy but quirky at the same
Quirky,
time.
yeah. I like it.
Even
It's-
those vibrations. Like,
Yeah, man. That's what I mean. When I first looked at it in the mirror, I was
Yeah,
like,
that's true, that
I actually
is
looked
true.
at myself in the mirror. I was like, am I tripping or is this like looking like weird, man?
Yeah. It's true what you say about the vibration, just like the emphasis on the voice and that as well, the
Yeah.
lot, the full shebang. Boys, what's next? Like we're gonna, obviously, I suppose now we're gonna start rounding it off.
Yeah,
but
man.
like, what is next? What can people expect to see? Because people are gonna be watching it up until now. So where do they follow you?
I think the better first thing we've got to say is we're about to put on like the fucking. And I'm going to say this now, and we can put this on record now, bro. We will put on the hardest hip hop show that Northampton's seen this year.
Oh, sick, man.
June 7th.
Do you know
man.
what, boys? I don't doubt you will,
Nah,
man.
right,
That's
yeah,
gonna
back
be
yourself,
sick.
June 7th, Black Prince, man. Do you know what I mean?
June 7th, yeah. June 7th.
The tickets.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
100%.
Don't you worry about that, man. Don't
June
you worry
7th,
about that. But
okay,
it will
yeah,
be
yeah,
like, you know what
Hip
I
hop
mean?
show.
It will be the hardest hip hop show, like hip hop
Yeah.
crime show, whatever you want to call it, man.
It needs it though, doesn't it? Northampton, it's about time.
Right.
Absolutely, mate. Like you say, it's going to be
It's gonna be a night to remember, man.
gonna be
Like,
weird,
it's-
man.
It's gonna be weird.
It's kind of weird.
It's gonna be weird.
You've been waiting to say that. haven't you?
That was that drone.
No, good man. We look forward to that. And
Yeah, man, you can.
What's next for you guys?
oh fucking hell! We've got a lot of bits on, haven't we? We've got a lot of
We're just I think struggling to keep up.
Too many
yeah. The problem, I think
We
that's
are.
the thing with us guys. You know, we have a lot of ideas, and I think
Normally
yeah.
him at like 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Taking a little walk around his housing
Same.
estate. He's just
Yeah,
phones
just
me.
wanted to just voice it quickly before I forget it, or write it down and just get an opinion on it. But it's like we have ideas, and I think as now we've started a business, it's like it's all great having ideas.
What's
It's
achievable?
managing the time.
Yeah.
When am I going to do these ideas? Because you've got this going on, you've got that going on, multitasking and whatnot. It's like, how can we execute these ideas?
What's a priority as well?
Yeah,
isn't it?
exactly. And I think the plan is, it's the priority at the minute, and the plan is planning how to execute these idees. And we probably don't want to say too much on it, because you know what's coming first, and we don't want to like oversell ourselves.
same,
but
same,
you know,
same,
we're
same.
looking into it. Do you know what I mean?
Somebody asked the
You know where we're
question, I'm
coming
like,
from. We'll tell you guys afterwards, and we've told you before. But yeah, but all jokes aside, man, this has been a sick podcast. We've really enjoyed it.
Mate,
Yeah.
It's been really good,
This
man.
has been
It
chill,
has
man.
been.
I feel
And we look forward to
comfortable.
doing more bits. Yeah, innit? It's been good.
100%, man.
Same time next week.
Same time. I don't know. That's it. But no, thank you both. Obviously, both of you guys for coming on.
No, I
thank
appreciate
you,
it.
No, it's been
honestly.
been a big time for you both.
Yeah.
So you
Shout
know, we
out.
appreciate it.
You got a new album?
Oh, bro, like obviously we're working on Project 3 now. I don't know whether this comes out, whether the next single will be out. So we'll keep that one on a hush
Yeah.
for now.
Yeah.
But obviously, like well, bro, I'll let you socials and that.
Yeah. Where can we find it? Well, if you want to find,
That's it. Yeah. Like obviously for me, get at me at the Real Weirdoe on Instagram. Got Man Like Weirdo on TikTok.
TikTok dancing and that. Yeah.
Something like that.
Got merch.
Joey just wants a feature on one of your videos. That's why, innit?
Yeah. Get steady. Yeah.
Give us some of that ice spice twerk inside
There
the
you
thing.
go. But yeah. Like, I mean,
Weirdoe.co.uk for the merch.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I think that's pretty much, and obviously like on all digital platforms and that sort of stuff. Obviously for me, it's Harlz made it.
You know it,
yeah.
innit? You know how I was made it.
On Instagram. Instagram's probably my main platform, really, I guess.
That's it.
But yeah, man.
Thank you guys, honestly,
Sound.
thank you.
No, I appreciate it.
Really appreciate it,
Thank
guys.
you.
for that Northampton event.
Yeah. And the date again, what was it?
June 7th, bro.
And the Black Prince.
Let's
fucking have it, man. Let's do it.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Yeah, bro. All booked. We're all good to go, man.
Let's have it.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Come on.
boys.
Look forward to that. Thank you, guys.
Thank you,
Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Dot Media.
Rolling through the neighborhood back when I was close to you, close to you, close to you. Yeah. Won't do what you said I would. You said I should be holding you, holding you, holding you. Yeah. Now I'm ghosting you, ghosting you, ghosting you. Yeah. Now I'm ghosting you, ghosting you, ghosting you.
Got shivers in my bones. You boys that feel like stones, even if the window closed. Nothing left to hold, even if I hear your moans, reaching different kind of tones. You're scared to be alone, your feelings I've outgrown, even when you hit my phone.
True to my word, pill a verb and you shiver. Breaking the curse, wanna speak on the rhythm. Low light, both eyes stuck in the beginning. When I stuck around locally, smoking the Britons. Probe light, strobe light, higher calling. I was on the roadside when you're calling. White lies in her eyes so she don't blink. I'm with the vibe with the bloodline, liquor falling. Like, I'm by the ocean, smiling. You can find me sitting there behind my eyelids. Back then we would've had a moment, lightly. I be on the run around, that's unlikely. Creeping as if I can't see shit. Stuck in 04 with them childlike reasons. I be on the move, coming through like seasons. You listen deep when I leak shit.